Hello everybody, and so my technical difficulties continue, but I am back, so at least that's something for now in any case. And today I want to talk about something that I've been learning a bit about recently. It's something that we all take for granted, in that I think we could probably all agree that the world is run by psychopaths, and most of us will probably realise that the hierarchical system under which we operate in our society has been created by psychopaths for the prosperity of psychopaths. And I think it's a really important issue, because I think by educating people about psychopaths, it's a nice little sort of icebreaker to get people to wake up, because that's something that they can get. It's easy to get. It's obvious. It's in your face. They can't deny it. And then, as I said, I've been learning about psychopaths. So what have I learned about psychopaths recently? Well, as we all know, they lack empathy. Their brains don't function in the same way ours do, us normal people. And not only do they lack empathy, but they've also got a sort of biophobia, which is an irrational fear of nature, of nature's spontaneity, of nature's constant evolution, and nature's sheer force and power. And of course, it's understandable, therefore, that they are, not that they can be, but they are complete and utter control freaks. Another thing that is characteristic to psychopaths um, is, on the one hand, they're scared of getting caught out, of being found out, exposed, and their agenda reduced to rubble. And on the other hand, they think they're freaking gods. So it's kind of a whole mess going on in there. Cognitive dissonance, eat your heart out. It's a complete mess. And of course, they're emotionally neutral, so it's not that glaringly obvious, that they have all this going on inside. Although there are telltale signs, um, such as a psychopath, um, because they learn human emotions, how to express human emotions, even though they don't feel them. That you can tell somehow they're fake. They're faking it. They'll do too much. They'll go a little bit over the top with niceness and stuff, and emotional reactions to things. In certain situations, obviously when it suits them, and when they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And also, when they smile, they'll just smile with the mouth and not the eyes, because again, it's fake. I think most of us can probably tell a fake smile when we see one. So, those are two traits that they have, two signs of a psychopath. I'm not saying that everybody, like who seems fake like that, is a psychopath. No, I'm just saying that those are two things that psychopaths do, because of the very nature of what they are. Because in fact, they're a subspecies, and they're an interspecies predator, which means that we, as their fellow human beings, are their prey. Although I'm not saying they eat us, I'm not saying they're cannibals, although I'm sure that there are psychopathic cannibals out there. Um, but what they do is they tend to sort of spread their own pathology of psychopathy onto others, making what is termed as proto-psychopaths, that aren't real psychopaths, but they act like them. Um, Generally speaking, a psychopath will surround himself by two different types of people. Intellectuals that lack social intelligence, sort of on the social level, it's not all that. And damaged people, very damaged people, because goodness, we're all damaged, aren't we? The whole system that is in place in this world damages people. It just churns out damaged people, doesn't it? And that's you kind of get it when you realise that this is the kind of person they like to surround themselves by, because they're easily manipulated. And as for the first category of people, despite their intellect, and I wouldn't say intelligence, because intelligence isn't just intellect, it's intellect and wisdom. And obviously these people aren't very wise if they're being sucked in by psychopaths. And they will eventually have a psychopathic behaviour. and they will carry out the bidding of the psychopath. They will be manipulated to carry out the bidding of the psychopath, and they in turn will manipulate other people, not by spreading the psychopathy as such, but more like compromising people, threatening people, coercing them in some way or another. And of course, psychopaths are drawn to politics, banking, commerce, and the media, where they can control people en masse. And that's the problem, you see. And I think the first step really is recognizing psychopaths. So I would really, really recommend that you guys check out well, there's what's his name, Thomas Sheridan and John Lash did some fantastic interviews on psychopathy, and just look them up on YouTube, especially Thomas Sheridan. He has done some really good work on psychopaths, and as I said, I'll try and put. What I'll do is I'll put the links to the videos, the best ones that I've watched, in the description box if you're interested, because I really do think that this is a powerful topic. It's so important to understand these people, and knowing our enemy. I know people are going to come at me and say, oh, but that's so dualistic, you're in us versus them. Well, you're so freaking new age in the right hemisphere of your brain. Let's ignore the negative, and let's meditate all the bad away, But no, seriously guys, knowledge is power if you act upon it, and to start with, you've got to get that knowledge. So that's why I think it's worth looking into psychopathy. And as I said at the beginning, I think this is something that we could start off with the sleepers, with and sort of a way into awakening. If I could, don't really know how else to say it, but yeah, I just think that this is a good starting point for newbies, and really to make a difference. Because also, if you want to get even further into it, you could bring even the archons into it, or the jinn, if you prefer, whatever you prefer to call them. But the Gnostics, they refer to them as the archons or masters, and they kind of amplify psychopathy, and they profit from psychopathy. They take advantage of it. And I mean, Thomas Sheridan, who's an expert on psychopathy, he says that the science doesn't explain it all. It cannot answer that ultimate question, why and how they affect other people, making these proto-psychopaths like they do. It's almost like it is an infection, it is a virus, but it isn't an actual virus. So he theorizes that it's on a consciousness level. They have this kind of dark consciousness that they infect other people's consciousness with. And another difference between psychopaths and proto-psychopaths is a proto-psychopath. You remove them from the psychopath, and you surround them by decent people, and they can be cured. But a psychopath will always be a psychopath. It is absolutely incurable. Psychopathy is not curable. But, we've got to find a way to deal with this. And I think the more people are aware of, one, what psychopathy is, two, the importance of psychopaths in high places and what they're doing, and the fact that the system was made by them. That's why I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in hierarchy. I don't believe in human authority, and even though there are subspecies, psychopaths are still humans, and so are proto-psychopaths and all their minions, for lack of a better word. So yeah, I just wanted to say that how, this is one of my things right now is, the new age, that's a problem. Psychopaths are a huge problem. Those are the negative things. But on the solution side, I think we can educate people on psychopathy, and that can be a big step forward, I think, in getting people to understand what is wrong with the world and how to deal with it. And another thing is understanding natural law and getting critical thought in there and, walking the talk. But we really do need numbers, and that's going to take time, effort, and above all, education. And that starts with educating yourself, and then sharing that with other people and getting them to open their eyes. And really, after all, what is a teacher if it's not a guide? They're not. Teachers can't teach you anything. You teach yourself stuff. Teachers are just going to show you what to look at. Real teaching, it comes from you. You are your teacher, really. The other people, the other so-called teachers in your life, and actually these teachers, but everybody is your teacher. But really, what that teacher is a guide. It's gonna show you things, but not what to think or what to feel or what to make or no. You've got to figure that out by yourself. And yes, it takes effort, and it means stepping up and taking responsibility and growing up. And that's what humanity as a whole needs to do. We need to take responsibility. We need to step up. And in indigenous cultures, do you know how they deal with psychopaths? They know how to recognize them, and what they do is they kill them off. It sounds extreme, it sounds brutal and unloving or whatever, but it's psychopathy is a disease, and a psychopath within a community is a dangerous thing, especially when you're talking about these small communities, because most of these indigenous people, they have a tribal culture, so they live in reasonably small groups, not like us, who are grouped together in cities and countries, and so yeah, they kill them off because they realise that it's a danger to the whole of the community. And on the other hand as well, you could look at it as euthanasia, because with all that's going on in these heads, they can't really. I don't know how you can be happy like that. I mean, not in. When I say they're emotionally neutral, they still get kicks out of things. They still get that chemical reaction, that reward response in their brains. They still get kicks out of things. But it's not the same as emotion. They can never know happiness. They can only know pleasure. And I don't even know if they have a soul. I do tend to wonder. And are they actually, like archons incarnate? Possessed by archons, just hollow shells possessed by archons? I couldn't say. These are all, theories that are thrown out there that seem plausible, and all I know is that, they're not like us, and your best bet is to steer well clear of them. Do not get involved with them. Yes, okay, we can't run forever. At some stage, we're going to have to turn and face them and deal with this problem, but for now, run so that you live to fight another day, because, don't forget, these people have absolutely no empathy whatsoever, no scruples, no morals. It's just whatever's right for them is what's good. So, these people are capable of the worst atrocities. So, that's my advice to people for now. But the more people realize what's going on, the more people figure out what's going on, I think the safer it will become, even though we mustn't rule out retaliation. That, we must be brave and overcome fear and just, do what needs to be done as a species and start defending ourselves as a species. Because this is a point on which we can all unite, whatever your beliefs are, apart from the New Age, who are too busy trying to turn themselves into a light body and ascend. Please, Galactic Federation Light, come and beam them up so we don't have to listen to their crap anymore. But apart from those bliss junkies, I think we can all come together on this one point of psychopathy, and that psychopaths need to be dealt with. But all in good time, and I hope that won't take too long, because, times are ticking. Anyway, that's all for now. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I shall see you soon, I hope.